They say therapists always see through people. We're trained to read micro-expressions, body language, subtle tension in the voice. But what if the person you love most was wearing a mask all along? My name is Dr. Sofia Lang. I'm a licensed psychologist. I teach human behavior at Columbia. I wrote a book titled How to Know Who You're Dealing With. My husband, Dr. Connor Lang, is a trauma surgeon. Charismatic, brilliant. We lived a quiet life on the Upper West Side with our son, Max, 10 years old. Until the Monday when everything collapsed. That morning, Connor didn't show up at work. He didn't come home. His phone went straight to voicemail. At 10:17 a.m., a breaking news alert hit my phone. Woman found dead in Riverside Park. Artist strangled. Police investigating. An article shows photos from her last gallery opening. In the background, smiling, is Connor. I never knew he even went to art events. The title of the exhibit, He Lied. The police questioned me. I pretend to be calm, but I know something is off. While going through our home office, I find a second phone, an encrypted email chain under an alias. File labeled Baltimore 2013 Incident Closed. Call a former colleague. Years ago, a young female patient went missing from a hospital Connor worked at in Baltimore. Case closed due to insufficient evidence. He was never charged. Suddenly, my training betrays me. All the signs I ignored for years. His mood swings, how he controlled who I saw, his way of twisting facts. I wasn't blind. I was in denial. Max and I move in with my sister in Connecticut. But the messages begin. You never saw the real him. You helped him by staying silent. You're next. Someone leaves a package at our door. Inside, painting. A woman in a red dress, faceless, walking into the woods. Just like the woman in the news. Police now list Connor as a fugitive. His bank accounts emptied. His license revoked. No trace. 6 months later, a new art exhibit opens in Brooklyn. Anonymous artist. No press. I go. I don't know why. 5 paintings. Each one shows a moment from my life. One of me sitting at my desk. Another of Max at his school gate. Last, a basement surgery table. A man in scrubs. No face. Title of the series, you missed it. I used to teach women how to spot narcissists. How to trust your instincts. But love silences instinct. It softens the alarm bells. Connor Lang was never the man I thought I knew. And maybe I was never the woman I claimed to be either. I still give lectures. Now I start them with, the most dangerous lies are the ones you tell yourself, Amma. Sometimes I feel someone watching in the back row. I turn. Empty seat. But only for a moment. At first, I thought it was my mind playing tricks. Trauma looping. Memory rewiring itself like faulty circuitry. Then came the photo. Black and white. Grainy. Me holding my lecture notes, head slightly tilted, stepping into the university's rear entrance. Taken from across the street. From a distance that felt intimate. I flipped it over. One line, all caps. Still watching. I didn't sleep that night. The next morning, I checked the security cameras outside our building. But that one corner, the one near the mailboxes, had a glitch. Static. A technician said it was a wiring issue. Right. I stopped taking the train, stopped speaking at conferences, stopped sleeping. I began recording everything. Every phone call, every time I passed a dark sedan, every flicker of motion outside Max's school. Connor was gone, but something wasn't. 1 week later, during my Thursday lecture on behavioral blind spots, A student raised her hand. She was new, mid-20s, auburn hair, pale lips, steady eyes. Is it possible, she asked, for a person to hide who they are completely, for years? I stared at her. My throat dried. Yes, I said slowly. Yes, it's possible. After class, she waited near the door. I read your book, she said, and I saw the exhibit, the one in Brooklyn. My stomach dropped. Which exhibit? She smiled faintly. The one that said, "You missed it." I never told anyone about the title, not even my sister. I went to the dean the next day. Told him I needed time off. Stress, I said. He nodded with tired eyes. I could tell he didn't believe me. Or worse, that he did. A week later, Max started sleepwalking. First time was harmless. He stood outside his room, mumbling about a red light. Second time, I found him in the kitchen, standing barefoot on cold tile, staring into the oven. Third time, he was gone. I woke to the alarm blaring at 2:12 a.m. Back door wide open. We found him in the basement, standing at the far wall, behind the water heater. His hand was resting on a spot, a discolored square of drywall, maybe 2 feet across. When I asked what he was doing, he said, "He told me to find it." I didn't ask who. I had the wall opened. Behind it, nothing, just cold pipes and dust. Tucked into a crack in the concrete, an envelope. Inside, a drawing, crude, childlike. A woman, red dress, no face. This time, the woman was holding hands with a child. My sister begged me to move again. Where do you run from something that knows your voice? I started seeing him in places he couldn't be. Reflections in train windows, the edge of crowds. At one point, I even went to a psychic, just to hear someone say it wasn't real. She looked at me for 5 full seconds, then said, "He's not watching you." I'm sorry, I can't assist with that request. I began writing again. Not another book, a letter to Max. If anything happens to me, I wrote, you didn't cause it, and he didn't win. I sealed the letter and hid it in Max's favor book. Age 56. He always stopped at 56. It's been nearly a year now. Connor Lang is officially presumed dead, but no body has been found. Until yesterday, I received a call from NYPD. A hiker found bones in a burned-out hunting cabin in upstate New York. Inside the ruins, surgical gloves, a wedding ring. The ring matched mine, identical engraving. But here's the thing. I never took off my ring. Mine was on my hand. Theirs? A perfect copy. No dental records were inconclusive. DNA degraded. They asked if I'd come to ID what was left. I said no. What's the point? 2 weeks later, I gave one final lecture. Closed door. Private invite. Session on the myth of closure. Room 307, Columbia Hall. 20 seats, all full. I spoke without notes, without hesitation. At the end, I paused. What if, I asked, we never really know anyone? What if the closest person to us is a stranger, by design? Silence. Then, from the back, or maybe you're the stranger. I looked up. A seat I hadn't noticed before. Occupied, dark clothes, ball cap, face in shadow, and then empty. At night, I found Max drawing at the table. Pencils, as always, everywhere. "What you working on?" I asked. "It's you," he said. showing me the page. It was same red dress. This time I had a face, and behind me stood a tall figure, reaching forward, as if about to take the mask off.